Yo, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How do I sound? How do I sound? Let me check the audio. Audio level, yeah. Should have done all this before I even started, but whatever. Yeah, so what's going on, man? How's everybody feeling? How's everybody feeling? Everyone doing okay? We got about 15 people in the room, and I was thinking I should probably wait until we had some more people, but this was a last minute thing, so I didn't schedule it. So it wasn't like a lot of people were waiting in the wings like last time. Last time I announced it like a while before, so it was like 50 people in the room. But anyway, you know the drill. Comment, like, subscribe. Comment, like, subscribe. And let me turn off everything else. Focus. So yeah, the standout without handouts. Oh, look at you, man. You bootstrapping ass. Look at you. How you doing? I Sound Info. What's up, Adrian Mendez? Thank you, fam. Appreciate it. Isaac K, how you doing? Whole family's here. So yeah, a lot of people like the last thing I did about, all like the bullshit influencer stuff and the blue check stuff, and I kind of want to talk about some other stuff because I feel like there's so much fake stuff out there. Like it's a really cliche thing to say, but we're in like the Matrix. The Matrix is like a really cliche thing, like, oh, we're in this fake world and you can't trust anything that's around you if it's real or not. You're living in the simulations and you're living in the illusion. And it was a big cliche. People like to talk about it, but it's true, man. It's true. 2008 B. Scott, how you feeling, man? Yeah, I mean, it is true, man. We are living in the Matrix, but where the movie was wrong. The movie was made it seem like it was easy if you just took the red pill or did some kind of homework. You can just snap into the real world like that and just see through the illusion. And that's where the Matrix is had it wrong. That's where it's bullshit. Because you know what? The Matrix made it seem like there was a central power or a higher power or someone at the top of the pyramid that was keeping track of the truth. Like the Matrix was a lie. And the liars who were the bad guys, the aliens? Was it like artificial intelligence? Was it aliens? I don't even remember. I don't even remember. I don't even remember who the bad guys were. But basically, the Matrix posited that the bad guys, the them, there's always a they, like they're keeping you down. In conspiracy theories, you know, um, the conspiracy was run by liars, but the conspiracies in our Matrix, in our reality, it's run by bullshitters. You know, uh, And bullshitters, like I said in the last video, bullshitters don't even know what the truth is. They're just saying whatever they have to say to get their clout, to get their whatever it is they're trying to get. And so it's like um the only options that are possible in a matrix of bullshit is to step out into another matrix of bullshit. Like it's like Inception. Remember Inception, where every time he came out the dream, he was still in another dream, and he just couldn't figure out how to get awake. That's that's what us machines. Someone said machines are the bad guys in the Matrix. Yeah, I mean, so say the machines. So the machines are liars. The machines know what the truth is, and the machines are feeding you lies, and all you have to do is just step out of the lie right into the truth. But now the machines have even fooled themselves. The machines have lost track of what's real or not. So it's not like you could even just step out and kick the machine's ass or whatever. Like you step out of one matrix and you're not sure if the matrix that you stepped out into is just a more convincing matrix or not. Because that's like the matrix of bullshit. A mono one too. So it's like the people who are selling you the bullshit, the people who are profiting off the bullshit, they don't even know or care what's true anymore. They just have to make their quarterly reports. They just have to not get fired. They just have to um, make their bill payments. Like everyone's bullshitting everybody, and everyone's bullshitting themselves. And in entertainment, I like talking about entertainment, not because I'm into entertainment gossip or all that stuff, but I think it's a nice, easy way to have a microcosm to look at bigger stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a it's a fun little, easy to look at thing that you can use to extrapolate into other stuff. Thank you, Lemon Senna. Uh, Lemon Senna said, "Nice haircut." That's the quarantine special. You know what I'm saying? When you're looking like the Wolfman, you just gotta do something. Yeah. So, I Sound Info said calling BS is getting increasingly difficult. You can make a moral argument, but you can't make a case based on results because it seems to work. Yeah, because the problem is nowadays everyone would rather look like a winner, even if they're a loser behind the scenes, than look average but actually be okay. Like they would rather be worse off and look better than look worse off but be better. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean nobody cares. Like, it's a good video. Before I even get talking, you know what? I wasn't gonna play this, but I think it's a great little video. It's KRS-One, and he talks about, because this is the beauty of the truth, man. When you're telling lies, right, or bullshitting, everyone has a different lie or bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a million ways to lie, but there's only like one or two ways to tell the truth. So you're telling the truth when there's 10, 20, 30, 100,000 million people independently saying the same thing, because there's only one truth, so it's easier for people to find it. So I always feel good when I see people saying something that feels like something that I've been saying, but KRS-One had a video like a couple of years back in an interview, and I remember when he said it, I thought he was dropping some knowledge, and I'm gonna play the video. 2008 B Scott, you don't like the box? All right. Oh, by the way, someone said this. Any book advice based on this premise of bullshitting? Are you asking me if I could recommend a book or if I could recommend a book that has advice? The main book, there's a book by Harry Frankfurt called On Bullshit. That's all about this. That's where I got this from. And there's another book called The Image by Daniel Borstein. Both those two books are pretty good. Another one is Amusing Ourselves to Death by Neil Postman. Those are three really good books that are pretty good about bullshit. But anyway, before we get started, let me play this video. I really love this video.
In 5, 4, 3.
Damn it, it's playing an ad.
Obi Trice, real name, no gimmicks.
Bro, this is painful.
Outside. We've got a bogey. I'm on the way.
Let me turn the sound off on this bad boy. When the video starts, I'll let y'all know. But yeah, let's see what else. Hey, La Manzana, did that kind of answer your question, or were you looking for something else? No, you did not miss the box discourse. You are in a good place, God of Fornication. You are in the place to be. Why is this playing this whole video? It's not even what I clicked. Hold on. All right, here we go.
There's two types of people in the world: black men and black boys. Grew up in that. Hip hop grew up in that. There's two types of people in the world: black men and black boys. Black boys is who you see on mainstream television. I want the girl, the big house, I'm driving the car. That's little boy stuff. And any man will let you know. Any man knows that. Any adult knows that. Now, I'm not saying that when you're on TV, you can't aspire for the good things in life, no doubt. But a man, a real man, he gets on the TV and first, he looks for his kids. Let me make sure my kids ate today. Are they clean today? Did they learn something today? Are they protected today? Before I can even talk to you, is my kids good? It's a man. Is my woman good? Is she empowered? Does she feel like she can breathe? Is she expressing herself? Does she feel loved? What's my woman doing? Most of the rappers you see on TV, they have no woman in their life. They have little girls who are only interested in little boys. So they play little girl, little boy games. I want the guy with the car. That's a little girl, a little boy. I can't argue with that. Leave all that over there. Okay, there's a little girl, little boy arena that rappers play into. But the majority of us are men and women. The majority of us. So the movement starts with black men. Hip hop begins with black men in particular. In particular, not black boys, not white boys, not Asian boys. Men, black men talking to white men who are talking to Asian men who are talking to Latino men. We all come together and we say, like my man, I can run down, like in graffiti, you got Tekashi 183, one of the most famous graffiti writers in hip hop. He's Greek. You got Quick and Scene, who I think is Italian. Scene, rest in peace, he passed. But Scene is he's a legend in graffiti writing. It's a white kid. Big Cat, who used to run around crossing everybody out. White kid. They not hip hop? Of course they hip hop. But also, they recognize that this ain't about color. This ain't about race. Even white kids that live in the neighborhoods in the Bronx, they know they're just as oppressed as we are. And they feel it every day. These are men, okay? Men, white men.
I don't agree with all that.
Who are
But
getting hit over the head by the cop, called nigger lover. Oh, you just want to be a nigger lover by other white men.
Actually, I think he was going on a crazy tangent there. But the party was saying before, I think he might have returned to the topic, but I didn't want to hear all this stuff in the middle. But what he was saying before about like there's little girls and little boys, that's what hip hop is now, and it's just like I want the nice car, I want the boy with the car, and the boy's like, look at me, I got the car, and that's kind of like everything, like that's like that fake image, like that whole clout thing. Like people would rather have something that looks really good but isn't actually good than something that is just pretty okay. Like it looks slightly above average, but only looks slightly above average. You know what I'm saying? It's Isaac K said, I don't look at 80s New York culture and think of it as a culture of manhood. It was born out of prolonged adolescence. Black boys and men were locked out of traditional professions. I kind of see what you're saying, but you know, I think Neely Fuller says there is no such thing as a black man. We just have black males because in a system of white supremacy, a white male is the only person allowed to actually be a man. So to be real, I don't think any black male, as long as the system of white supremacy exists, is ever allowed to fully be a man. But what he's saying is there was an aspiration to aspire to manhood. Like hip hop was a young man's game, technically still is a young man's game. So I don't really think of hip hop as a prolonged adolescence because I think people were acting the age they were supposed to be, you know? I mean, but at the end of the day, I mean, like there's no blueprint for growing old in hip hop, but there was always a plan, I feel, in the early generations. You talk to somebody who was into hip hop in the 70s and 80s, and you know, if that person is someone who was living a square life and not running the streets or whatever, that person probably nowadays has kids, a job, place to live, a house, wife, you know. It's like I think if you're still into hip hop as much in your 40s as you were in your 20s or in your teens, and yeah, maybe you are a prolonged adolescent, you know. But yeah, Jamal S said, yeah, KRS Rim was about to go on that. We're on niggas rant. Yeah, I was not feeling that. I think he ended up returning to the topic that I wanted to talk about, but I just couldn't sit through that middle part. But yeah, but there's this whole thing where like even if black men were kept out of being a man, there was this thing in the early hip hop generation where you're aspiring to be a man, even if what you were aspiring to was a caricature of manhood, you know. You wanted to raise your shoulders, you wanted to have like that life. Like there is this thing now though where people are rapping either in their 20s or 30s or older, you know, are just still rapping about dumb shit. Like people used to rap about some stuff that was serious stuff, you know, like if you listen to something like The Message by Grandmaster Flash, or you listen to Tragedy, Arrest the President, or Ice Cube's first album, or Public Enemy, or KRS One and Boogie Down Productions early stuff. There was a wide range of stuff out there that I feel like you don't really find in the hip hop mainstream that much anymore, you know. But whew, there's a lot of comments going on. I should get a moderator. Be easier to multitask. There's a couple of things I want to talk about today, and that's tying with all that stuff about how everything is like manipulated and everything is illusion. But there are so many people involved in perpetuating the illusion because they don't care about getting to the truth because life is too busy, life is too tough. They have to get by. So you have, like, for example, like, remember that e-viewing thing, and there were all those reporters and articles just spreading the fake story that there was a grassroots movement to get her to write the book. And only one site had the true story, that she basically engineered the whole thing. And it was just a site run by enthusiasts, because the people who are reporting, they're probably grunts or freelancers or bottom tier staff who are required to get a bunch of clicks a day. Who's going to have the time to really do a deep dive? Like, I'm just an obsessive person. I have some time in my hands and I'll look at stuff like that. But if your job is working the Washington Post or work on the Chicago Reader blog site or a social media account, and you've got to generate God knows how many clicks a day, or your ass is grass and you have no health care. Every single line that somebody feeds you, an influencer feeds you, is going to get clicks. You're just going to put it up there and you're going to move on, You're not really going to care about all that stuff. And that's what I think plays a big role in perpetuating all this nonsense. The fans have no reason to care about this stuff because they want to vicariously live through all the fantasy themselves. Like, people used to want to at least aspire to something authentic. There was this anxiety of authenticity, like people will call each other studio gangsters. People would be like, keep it real, recognize the real. That's that real shit and stuff. People don't say things like that anymore. Keep it underground, not that shiny suit stuff. People don't really think like that anymore. People just want it like plausible. That's why, if you notice now in rap, nobody really raps about the rhymes anymore. People only rap about what they have. Like, if you were to come out today trying to rap and talk about, sucker MCs biting my style, people look at you like you're stupid. Like, who cares? Like, why are you sitting there talking about your style? People nowadays, it's almost kind of corny to care, right? And I'll give you an example. Nas is like one of those people who used to rap about his notebook. He even had a song like about his notebook and all this stuff he wrote in his notebook and everything. And now people go on talk shows or Breakfast Club and they'll brag about how they don't give a fuck about rhymes. Like, who's the guy that has the group Remy Boys? He was all over. He did Trap Queen. What's that dude's name? I forget his name. He was all over the place for a hot second and then he disappeared. Damn, I'm drawing a blank. The guy who did Trap Queen, Fetty Wap, yeah. Fetty Wap, Tekashi 6ix9ine, a bunch of others were bragging about how they don't care about writing rhymes, being super lyrical. People even started like making a pejorative, like, oh, fuck these lyrical miracle rappers, they're corny and all this stuff. And I realized like there's like two trends that kind of have happened in rap, and it kind of happened in a bunch of things, right? Rap is just one place where it happened, but it happened in other places. I mean, this is the reason why it doesn't matter that Drake doesn't write his rhymes. Like Meek Mill tried to kill him with it, and nobody cared because people were like, Drake gets bitches, Drake moves units, he sells more than you. Who cares that you write your rhymes? If anything, that just shows how successful Drake is. He's too busy spending money, and he's so rich he can buy rhyme makers. Where are your ghostwriters? Like nobody cares. All that matters is that you sell. But there's two things that I think happen in rap. It kind of happen everywhere, and there's anti-craft and anti-effort. I'm gonna say that again: anti-craft and anti-effort. You've probably heard me say this on the podcast, but it's kind of with everything. Like, and you know what's behind that? Like a lot of people, you ever know somebody, right? They're always bragging about, yo, you show up to the day of the test in college, and they're like, yo, I got crazy drunk last night, man. I didn't study at all for this test, man. I'm gonna fuck up, man. You know, shit. And, you know, and they like say it loud so everyone can hear. And then when people do stuff like that, they do that because there's a lot of people that think, yo, if I would rather not not try and fail or not try and succeed than to try and then fail. And to make it even crazier, right? Some people don't even want to try and succeed. Like some people, they want to be like natural, effortless. Like trying is corny and caring is corny. You know, all that matters is like clout. So it's like they don't even want to try. They don't want to even look like they're trying, even at the end of being successful. Because if you have to try to be successful, even if you succeed, it means that you're not naturally gifted or you're not your essence isn't blessed, right? So the guy who tells everyone, yo, I didn't study like all at all for like my test. What he's thinking is, okay, if I fail, I can just tell people, hey man, what did you expect, man? I told you I didn't study, you know, but I didn't care anyway. Like, you know, fuck school, you know. But if they succeed, they can be like, yo, I didn't even try and look how well I did. You know, that shows like, you know, I'm just naturally gifted. Like, can you imagine if I actually tried? And they can get to even tell themselves I could have been even better, you know, and like I'll give you an example. Nas versus Jay-Z, right? Nas's story is that he writes in his notebook all the time. And he's like the thinking man's rapper. And personally, I think a lot of Nas stuff is kind of fake deep, you know? I think it's kind of fake deep, but I mean, the idea is that he tries. He's always like writing, and he has like songs about his notebook and about his craft and everything. Whereas Jay-Z's legend is that he doesn't even try. You know, people say supposedly Jay-Z doesn't write down any of his rhymes. He just shows up and spits. And I feel like Jay-Z saw where the culture was going. Now, maybe Jay-Z really doesn't rhyme, right? I mean, really doesn't write down his rhymes. Maybe he does, but I'll tell an interesting story. There was a dude, right? When I went to school, he would always show up to the library like an hour before the test. And he'd be like, oh, crap. I didn't study at all, man. I got to hurry up. And he just plopped down in front of all of us, you know, and make a big production of it. And he would like be reading and going through his flashcards like, oh, my God, I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail this shit. I'm gonna fail. And then he would keep acing the test. And we were like, damn, this dude's just nice with it, man. This dude's just natural, you know? This dude is nice. And what's up with this dude? He's like, yo, I don't know how I did it, man. I just nailed it. And then he just kept doing it. And then one day we were talking to his roommate, and we're like, yo, man, what's your roommate do? He's never studied, man. Your roommate's like super smart, man. He keeps acing all these tests, and he's not even studying. And she was like, what are you talking about? He studies every single night, like for hours. Like that's all he does. He has no social life. He's got no chicks. He does nothing but study. And we're like, what? So he didn't want to be seen doing effort. Like he had this thing where he just wanted to look like magnificent like that, you know? So some people who do that self-handicapping. They call it self-handicapping. Who show up the day of the test and say, "Oh, I was getting drunk last night. I didn't study. I can't believe it." So there's one type of person that really does that. They really don't prepare. They really don't put any effort or anything. And what they're really doing is they're afraid to try and fail and whatever. They're afraid to look whatever. But there's some people who put that big production and they actually are doing all the effort. And I'll be honest, I don't even believe that Jay-Z story. I think Jay-Z is like that dude. I think Jay-Z writes down. I do not believe he just does whole albums and all that stuff, just never writing anything down, coming up with it on the spot. Like there's stories about him showing up to the studio and he asks, "Yo, what are you doing?" He goes, "I don't have it written yet, but I'll have it in 20 minutes. It's in here." I would not be surprised if he did that. Personally. But anyway, I feel like Jay-Z, whether he was really anti-effort or not, was ahead of the curve as far as knowing where the culture is going, because more people are impressed with that story or tell that story. How many people do you hear talk about, "Yeah, I heard Nas has notebooks and notebooks upon rhymes"? I think in the early days of rap, that would have been really cool. Like people used to talk about that. People talk about like Rakim rap about his pen and his pad, and everyone talk about like the pen and pad. And it used to be cool to write down your rhymes and have big notebooks. But now I think the dream is to act like you don't give a fuck, you don't care, and you just effortlessly cool, effortlessly rich, you know? And 2008, B. Scott made a good point. He said, "I think many people don't believe they even have time for effort," which is true. Like in these days and times, man, everyone's kind of crushed for time and crushed for everyone's burnt out. Everyone always feels like there's more hustle. It's a hustle culture. With this hustle culture, taking the time to do anything doesn't even seem worth it, you know? It's the thing I talked about before about simple but hard, but easy but complicated. People would rather have like 100 hustles to make money, but they're all quick rich schemes, than to just pick one hustle and just do the work and excel in it. So, you know, someone would rather have a fashion line / social media account / travel account / influencer, TikTok, monetize / YouTube stream / this / that / be a rapper, you know, and you know, take the easy route with all of them, like the quick thing, rather than just pick one hustle and just be a virtuoso at it. You know, first example is Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X was a tweet decker and a social media person. Then he became a rapper, and the raps were like 1, 2, 3 ABC slapped together. And then after 2 songs, he announced that, you know, rap was more work than he thought. He didn't realize what it actually entailed, and he's over with rap, you know? Because once one of them hit, people started expecting him to tour. Like once he got a hit and everything, started and make more songs and do stuff, and that was too much work. The only thing he was qualified in was chasing clout and going viral. That's his skill, and that's what he's gone back to, is just, you know, making viral stuff and tweeting all day. Let's see. Is Lil Baby the same as the Baby? 2008, B. Scott said, "Go on YouTube and look up Lil Baby," and he was just straight up about how he randomly decided he wanted to rap instead of selling drugs. Are you talking about Lil Baby or the Baby or something? I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, there was something, but Jay-Z, even though he was anti-effort, the end result was high craft. Like Jay-Z wasn't anti-craft, he was anti-effort, but to his credit, he never wanted to produce like garbage. Like, you know, that was a guy who really wanted to be considered one of the top 3. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Lil Baby's a mumble rapper. There's so many littles and babies that get all mixed up. But yeah, so Jay-Z has serious craft, you know, and whether he's truly anti-effort or not, or just pretends to do no effort. Like, I'll give an example. Like when I described anti-effort versus anti-craft, some people who listen to podcasts were like, on Cumtown is a podcast that's anti-craft, and I was like, no, that one is anti-effort, but they, to me, really care about being funny. They're not just they're just doing unfunny stuff. That's anti-effort, but I think the craft is there. Um, the next level is when you're anti-craft, where it's like, yo, I don't try, and it sounds like I don't try, and I don't give a fuck, and that's what a lot of these new rappers straight up do now. You know, um, Isaac K. Jay-Z said he used to rap like, yeah, that's not true. Wait, what Jay-Z? Yeah, this thing, yeah. Yeah, he never rapped like Common Sense that I know. I mean, I've been listening to Jay-Z since he was like 16, like Hawaiian Sophie days. I've never heard him rap like Common, but whatever. Yeah. So yeah, nobody really cares these days about the craft or the effort, right? But I can take anti-effort way more than I can take anti-craft. Like when people just don't care if it even sounds like garbage, but even start wearing it as a badge of honor, like, because then that makes it even bigger brag, right? Because all I care about is the results, right? If you all you care about is the results, then it's even more of a flex to be like, yo, not only did I not try, that shit wasn't even good, and I'm number one, and that's what Tekashi 69 was doing. Tekashi 69 was like, people talking about like you're taking space from like really lyrical people and stuff, and he'd be like, yo, I don't give a fuck about rhyming and rapping all this stuff. I just say whatever comes to mind, but I'm rich. You look stupid. I'm rich. Cardi B was kind of saying something similar, like, people were pressing her on issue writes rhymes. She goes, I'm not one of these like lyrical miracle types, but I get shmoney. That's really what it is, and that's a segue to what I want to talk about today, because the castles of bullshit, like all these castles of bullshit are flying around, and the reporters whose job would normally be to kind of expose the bullshit, they've got to get clicks and generate, like, churn out 100 stories a day. The same way that these people can't pick one hustle and grind at it and get great at one hustle, a reporter nowadays, because this is systematized into the whole culture, a reporter nowadays can't take one story and then dig on it. You know what I mean? Because people expect that story is going to be dead in 6 hours. It's trending now. There's a narrative. Instead of you setting the narrative with the truth, you're supposed to chase the narrative that already exists, that's bullshit, and get in there while people are searching for these terms, while it's hot, while it's getting retweets, because we need to put out this story headline on our social media account connected to the paper. So it's almost not in your interest to expose the bullshit, because first, if you expose the bullshit, when you get it out, it's going to be like 5 days from now, and no one's going to care anymore. Then when you get it out, all people are going to do is get mad at you and call you a hater and say you spoiled their illusion, because a lot of these people, right? People now, because a lot of these people are lazy and just want to be influencers and get clout, people now worship anti-effort and anti-craft people, because that makes it easier to dream. Like when we used to look at people like Rakim and Big Daddy Kane, because I used to like battle rap and freestyle rap and ciphers and stuff, and we used to like look at them like heroes. Like, yo, I don't think we'll ever be that good, but we can try. And we would just be sitting there practicing rhymes and doing ciphers and going back and forth and stuff, right? But if you don't care about being the best, if you're not looking at them like heroes, you're looking at what they have. Like I said, back then, people rapped about how good the rhymes were and how much people were biting the rhymes and, who was the best. Now if you rap about being the best, but you're broke and on the corner, people are like, yeah, well, what's being the best getting you? You know, um, being the best actually starts becoming a detriment because people are saying you're spending all that time and effort and you're broke and whatever. Like, yeah, that's like a fool's hustle. That's whack. But if you aren't even trying and you're thriving, that's even better because all people care about is the clout, the surface, the appearance. So what happens is this: people now are looking at heroes precisely because of the mediocrity. But what people think is, if I see someone like Rakim, and all I want to do is just be big fast and go viral fast and get clout fast and get bitches fast and and floss on social media tomorrow, it's gonna take me forever to be as good as Rakim. That's like years out, and it might not even pay off, But I can be, I can be, but when I see someone like, what's his name, Lil Nas X pop off, like Lil Nas X decided he was someone who was good at going viral. He was a TikToker and a Twitch streamer, not Twitch streamer, a tweet decker, and he should do all these things. Tweet decking is when you form a syndicate with a bunch of other Twitter people, and what you guys do is just make arrangements to blow up each other's tweets and go viral. It's like a bot system to kind of hack and game the algorithms in YouTube. So he was good at going viral, and he would hang out with other tweet deckers, and they would form these like they call them decks, but they're like a coalition of people who make each other go viral, and they game the system, and that's what they're good at. And that type of gaming the system, when they go into music, they parlay it into music. They find ways to game the streams, to game all these things, to do the same thing. That's what another reason why record labels now like signing people who are good at going viral better than signing people who are good at rapping. Because the people who are good at going viral, they're more likely to get chart numbers than the person who's good at rapping but doesn't know how to go viral. So when they see someone who is the only talent is going online and tweeting all day and flossing on Twitter and occasionally striking gold and going viral, and writing trends, they look at that and say, shit, I can already do all that. Sign me up. I can, if I keep doing that, I might hit sooner or later, as soon as tomorrow. Terry Hines Jr. said tweet decking is a clout cartel. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. There's this guy, his name is Trap Lore Ross. He's on YouTube, and he has a series on Tekashi 6ix9ine. Tekashi 6ix9ine is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. That guy is just a master of clout. Like, his talent is clout, and he's always been good at going viral and riding waves and doing stuff before he started rapping. And this guy, Trap Lore Ross, has a YouTube playlist called The Clout Chronicles. It's a series about Tekashi 6ix9ine, and he did his math, and it really taught me a lot about how all this stuff goes. And they so like the mediocrity becomes almost like a selling point, the anti-craft, the anti-effort starts being something that people admire. I think that's why Jay-Z ended up having more of a legendary status and staying power than Nas, aside of the fact that Nas probably had more bad albums, to be honest. But people don't like the idea of, hey, I like the idea of not writing rhymes down and just going in there and spitting. If you look at Blueface story is like that. Like, he just kind of showed up and just being like just showing up. He said he just showed up one day, decided to start rapping, and if you listen to him, he's not very good. But he's got a house, and that's what people say. If you say Blueface can't write a beat, they're like, well, yeah, but he can sign a mortgage. He just bought his mom a house. Angus Merriweather said there's no more artist development at these labels. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. This is a good point. Dennis Rodman was like that. Dennis Rodman, if you hear people talk about him who knew him growing up, he really cared about basketball, but he always acted like he didn't, and it's very true. This part I don't get. Alex says if they don't care about the craft, they just walk away. They put a Lauryn Hill and disappear. That's why I'm not buying it. But they care about the money. You don't have to care about the craft. If you care about the money, that's fine. Well, what'll make these people walk away from anything is not making money at it, not being good, because they don't care about being good. They just care about the clout. Some of these people I don't think even care about even the money, really. I think they care about the appearances and the lifestyle. Like that's why a lot of them get jerked by labels and stuff, because the label, plies them with alcohol, surrounds them with girls. They'll like sell out for all this stuff. Then you find out like a year later, the person's broke and has no actual money because they were just seducing them with clout, So and this is a great point. This is an answer to Isaac K. It's like it doesn't make as much as used to, but once you get that taste that lifestyle, you don't want to go back. Even if you have no money in your bank account and you're just living off of a fake lifestyle, you don't want to go back to that. But yeah, I mean, Sly said this is anti-Queens. No, I'm not anti-Queens. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I love Queens, but my Queens icons are Mobb Deep. Like I am an obsessive Mobb Deep fan, so I'm still very pro Queens. When Mobb Deep and Nas had their beef, I was team Mobb Deep. So, but I like Nas. Don't get me wrong. I poke fun at Nas, but I like Nas. He's done a lot for the culture. But I want to talk about something today. This is what this is all leading to, right? Today, there was a story, and the story went that it was a historic day for females in hip hop. It was a historic day for people in hip hop and for females in hip hop because of what happened with Nicki Minaj and Doja Cat became the 7th and 8th women who ever topped the Hot 100 chart in rap. And then maybe Megan the Stallion will become the 9th next week. And that was what people were so happy about, right? So basically, this is what happened. There was 5 women who had made the top 100 in hip hop in all these decades that hip hop has existed, right? Who topped the top 100. And then you mean to tell me in a matter of months, we got the 6th, 7th, and 8th? Like, think about that. Something is not right there. That just seems weird. Like, did people just suddenly become more open-minded? Did a whole bunch of unnaturally talented women just pop on the scene? Because there's a lot of women more talented in rap than Lizzo, Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, and Megan Thee Stallion. And this is not bashing any of those people, but their talent level is not unprecedented or unheard of. And these new songs that they're doing are not like iconic songs that you're never going to forget. Like, and it's because the system is broken, But the people who are fans want to win, so they're going to pretend it's not broken. The reporters want to cover an iconic story, so they're not going to expose that is broken. Plus, a lot of the problem nowadays is everybody is a fan. So a lot of these people, they want to give people positive coverage and hope that one day, they'll get to hang out with the people themselves. Yeah, Young M.A., that's another one. Sly did a good one. Like, Young M.A. be killing it, you know what I'm saying? But Young M.A., she doesn't have like that internet stand presence that Doja Cat or Nicki do. Like, if anything, a lot of straight up dudes just like her. Like Nicki Minaj has a straight up weird ass fan base of just like girls with too much time on their hands and like gay dudes who just stay all day being catty and sassy and just standing for her all day long and flooding the mentions of everybody who says anything bad about her, you know? So Nicki Minaj and Doja Cat's fan bases are more like, you know, Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez's fan base, and then they are like Young M.A's as far as like just a bunch of tweens and stans and crazy people, you know? So this girl put up this tweet. I'm gonna put this tweet up real quick. But she put this tweet up, and it said, "At the time I wrote this, only 5 women who rap had ever topped the Hot 100. Lizzo became the 6th, and Lizzo's an influencer basically. I'm convinced Lizzo, like, there's this thing that people talk about now, industry plants. And the idea with the industry plant is people have this idea that the industry is just picking these people and just planting them, because these people, you won't hear about them one day, then the next day they're unavoidable. But what I think it is, I think where there's Cardi B, Lizzo, Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, Meg Thee Stallion, what these people are really, they're not industry plants, because that implies like a top-down thing. I think what these people are is they're influencers. They're people who are good at generating a lot of online buzz. Like, Nicki Minaj was an innovator of the internet, and I heard about Nicki Minaj online and on YouTube for a long time, nonstop, before she got signed. These people are very good at hustling and getting their name out there. Like, and Cardi B was doing all this stuff on Instagram and Snapchat. Like she was a bona fide social media star. And I'm convinced Lizzo, maybe with white people, was doing a lot of stuff on the internet, you know? And then I think the record labels then pluck you because you already have this online fan base, and that's why it looks like a plant. That's why people are wondering, like, hey, where did this person come from? I think what actually happens is the record label takes these people who already have a big online fan base and then starts promoting them even more, and then their fans get happy. They're like, oh my god, my girl Lizzo's now signed, and they just won't shut up about it. And everyone's like, oh, so who is this girl that has a video? And the people online be like, oh, I've been a fan of her for years. I've been watching her YouTubes for years, you know? Yeah, so isn't that to say like some of them don't work? Because, like, for example, I think Megan Thee Stallion is actually very high craft. Like she's not someone like Cardi B who doesn't really care. She just switches lanes. I think Megan really just wants to be a rapper. She don't strike me as someone who wants to be an actress, a director, a rapper, or whatever. But she's very social media savvy. You know, she is very social media savvy. She really knows how to make, like, you know, the spectacle, like stream herself, show pictures and whatever. And to me, it's kind of a shame because, you know, she can really rap, but people kind of talk about her more or as much for her social media antics than whatever. But okay, I'm back. Is this still streaming? Am I still there? I think I messed up. Put one in the chat. Like, type 1 in the chat if I'm still here, if you can still see me. I want to make sure I didn't stop. Someone type 1 in the chat. Just let me know that I'm still here. Okay, cool. You can see me. Yeah. So, okay, thank you, man. So yeah, so what happened is, so this person wrote this article, and she's celebrating how how well all these women are doing, but the problem with that is it's not real. I'm going to show you why it's not real. I'm going to show you exactly why it's not real. So right here, Doja Cat, Doja Cat's somebody. When I finally heard her rap, she can really rap. She can really rap, but she spends more time showing her ass on and doing live streams all day than actually rapping. But she can actually rap. Um, Doja Cat tweeted, "If Say So hits number one, I'll show you guys my boobs really hard." Right? So that's what Doja Cat said. And she had some crazy stans who just follow her all day. Like a lot of these kind of chickens who just squee at everything she does and like look at her streams all day. She's always like generating and creating buzz. She moves funny style too, because she should be on 4chan or something. She does a lot of weird white supremacist humor and stuff, and does a lot of like 4chan in jokes. But she's one of those people. She's extremely online. She's an extremely online person. She seems very internet addicted, honestly. She gives a lot of codes and cues that she's. One of her songs was called "Didn't Do Nothing," which is um a code that white supremacists and 4chan use for black people who get shot by police and stuff. But that's a whole different story, right? So then look at what started happening after. And this is what they do. So a user called Spotify Daddy tweets this: "Create a playlist with Say So on repeat and stream it. Don't mute it. Play it at a low volume. Let it play while you sleep. If you are not from the US, you can download a VPN app. Set the app to US, then create a Spotify account." So think about this for a second, right? This person, maybe they're someone on the record label pretending to be a fan, just like, astroturfing the terrain. I don't think so, though. Like, a lot of these fans, they'll prostitute themselves for free. Like, they just vicariously get happy off the people they're standing getting unearned clout. I think because first off, they feel a rush of clout because, my standing helped them win. But they think, when it's my turn, if this system is gameable for them, that means eventually it'll be gameable for me. In the future, it'll be my turn, right? So you find a lot of people who these are just fans. You see a lot of times there are people who just are promoting, like for example, K-pop stands. They'll be promoting their favorite K-pop artists, and they're doing it for free. In fact, there was a story about how influencers can't. The money's dwindling because a lot of these companies don't want to pay influencers anymore because they could find clout hungry people who are just doing this shit for free, and they're like, okay, yeah, you have like 100,000 fans, and you have a big reach, but I can get 100 influencers with 1,000 fans who are just hungry to just get a brand deal, right? Or just be seen, because they have this thing now, right? And this is similar to like the whole appearance and clout thing. Fake sponsored posts. There are these people who want to seem like influencers and want to seem like brands and stuff want to work for them. Want to work with them. So what they'll do is they'll create fake sponsored posts where they pretend to be promoting something for a brand, so that people can get impressed and say, "Oh wow, that brand works with you," and then that creates an illusion of clout that actually makes people start following you. So then people will follow the person and follow them just because they're like, "Oh, if brands are approaching this person, they must be important. I don't know who they are, but let me follow them. So that's how fucked up the Matrix is right now, right? So, um, yeah, it's crazy. Um, I like these comments because it shows a lot of people are getting them. Like someone said, whether it a game in a system or not, they still won. All else is irrelevant. And so, someone said, imagine how the stands real life is. Online, they've got 10,000 retweets, but in real life, they're sharing a studio apartment with two other people, have unsteady work, struggle with drugs. Probably. I mean, it's probably not a glamorous life. But yeah. So this person's sharing tips, and here's where they're sharing these tips. Um, Spotify has ways, or they used to have ways to know, and these people they kind of crowdsource amongst themselves these stands ways to get around the system and game it and hack it. So what they did is you play a song on repeat and you stream it, but if you mute it, you don't get credit for it. Like, I guess Spotify figured out people were doing that, so now these people don't mute it anymore. They let it play, So they play it at a low volume. They play it while they sleep, right? And then what people are doing now is they create playlists with all the songs that need promoting, and then they play that song. So um only the US counts for like the US charts. So they get a VPN. A VPN is something that changes the country that you're in. So they'll get the VPN and set it for the US. So now you have people all over the world. So how are you going to compare these people's charts to American rappers of the past? And to me, this is not helping women rappers. This is not helping, especially black artists, black women rappers, because it's like Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire juicing, and they should get asterisks next to their records. Like, how are you going to compare their records to someone like Babe Ruth when this guy was using steroids and all this stuff, and that guy was doing it natural? But to be honest, and this is the whole of the story, should Babe Ruth even get the record? Because he was playing in a segregated league, so he wasn't going up against all those black dudes. So, I don't cry any tears over Babe Ruth. He can get an asterisk too, whatever. But the principle is the same. Like, if someone like say Salt and Pepper got the first number one, but they did it in a day when you had to move physical units of a CD, you couldn't sit on your ass in your apartment and just stream all day. You have to get up off your ass, part with hard-earned money, and pick up a physical CD and bring that shit home. That's how they got their records. Like, it's apples to oranges, man. It's not even that. It's like apples to dog shit. It's not close at all. Someone else put a playlist, right? And they showed an example, like, oh, do this. And then someone replied, right? Sorry, but this won't count. Like, this is what these people do. They crowdsource and help each other. They said, this won't count. This one will. So the person linked to another playlist. Like, these people are making their own playlist and then putting links to the playlist in their social media. And then all the fans will subscribe to that person's playlist. And that's another way that they get something out of it. I guess people will compete to see whose AstroTurf playlist designed to help the person they're standing gets the most followers. So that's another thing they set out for. They so people create playlists and it'll be full of like the famous favorite artist songs. And then he adds extra tips. Here's one that will count. This playlist will stream overnight and we'll get us there faster. And that's a crazy thing. He says us, like Nicki Minaj and Doja Cat sharing that money with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? We'll get us there. That's a little of a life a lot of people have now. Like, they really think they're in this together with Nicki Minaj and Doja Cat. Like, these artists kind of fuck with that parasocial dynamic to and encourage it and get these poor lonely people. If you heard our Sam Backton episode in the podcast, you should really listen to it. It talks about like a lot of the loneliness online and people these people are taking advantage of the kind of lonely, dysfunctional people that live online. And he says, keep the volume up and plug in some earphones when it's time to sleep, to make sure it's still getting those things. And on top of that, it's just the thirsty people who just want to see Doja Cat's boobs. And I'm very sure she's not going to show them. I'm sure she'll have some kind of excuse not to show them when the time comes, or she'll put it on her OnlyFans. Then you have to pay the OnlyFans to see the boobs, and she'll get a second win like that. But these people saying, I stream Say So when I sleep, trying to see them Doja tits. Some of the people are giving more tips. If we stream Say So on repeat with no volume at night while we sleep, assuming the average is 8 hours, we can stream it 139.8 times a night. Now imagine everyone does this, and then they put at Doja Cat to get her attention. It's some notice me senpai shit, notice me senpai. So they tag Doja Cat. Hey Doja Cat, you really think we're not gonna get your song number one? And I hope she sees this, bro. So it's a combination of just like standing, simping, parasocial, and someone put stream that shit in your sleep. We gotta work together on this. They send Doja Cat's replies. This is all in response to her announcing she's gonna show her boobs. So I mean that's crazy stuff to me. But also like, to me it's kind of scummy of Doja Cat to be like announcing shit like, I'm gonna show my boobs if you stream it. Like that's really kind of gaming the system. That's something that people weren't able to do before. Somebody put setting boneless records. That's exactly what it is. It's a boneless records. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, and people are so anxious to help their people they're standing like make it. Like somebody put this, and it's really true. It said, you've got university students in Korea who will comment on a police shooting video with a K-pop clip, and they are culturally insensitive to what the discussion is, because they just want the people to stand. You think the Korean students, a lot of those people, I bet, are Black American. There's a lot of Black American clout chasers who are tweeting K-pop shit all the time. I've gotten into arguments with K-pop fans who I thought were clueless Korean people, and I found out they're like Black Americans living in the suburbs, like Black teenagers. Really a mess, and this is something true too. The owners of the platform know that these people are gaming a system like this, and they don't care. They represent the value by number of subscribers, number of plays, etc. as well. And that's why I was talking about how everyone is incentivized to keep up the lie. The girl who's writing the story for the New Yorker, whose tweet I put before, she's incentivized. She's got to get her story out, and plus, she probably is a fan herself, because for some reason, a lot of our writers and our media people now are just glorified groupies. So, and have a weird parasocial. There's two things that happen. People talk about parasocial a lot, but there's also a mirror effect. There's two things that people like that feel a lot of this stuff. There's a parasocial effect. Parasocial is when I think these people are my friends. The mirror effect is I feel like this person somehow is me. I've somehow made this person into a avatar of myself. So if they win, that means that I can win. Like, if this when this Black guy gets himself a Kardashian, that means that, and he looks like me, and it's Tiger, whatever his name is, then maybe I'll get my own little bootleg community college Kardashian, in Encino Valley where I live, or if this dark-skinned Black girl that looks like me wins, then that raises my stock in real life too. So yeah, part of it's like they think that they're these people's friends or lovers, and then part of it is they think there actually are these people, David Gonzalez said, listen to Champagne Sharks episodes on low volume while you sleep, bump the numbers up. Yo, you know what? Champagne Sharks is on Spotify. Yeah, do that, man. Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to show you. I'm not going to show you any body parts, but fuck it. Sly said, I'm a bad example, as I like to see those knockers. I mean, I don't encourage all this, but it hit number one. So if she shows them, I mean, then maybe some good will happen in the world. I don't know. Someone said this is a messed up episode of Black Mirror. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Um, Someone talk about the K-pop fans who always spam the replies of everything, including police shootings, with the K-pop videos. And they said they sound like bad people. And yeah, there they are. And I'm telling you, they're not all Korean. A lot of them are black teens and stuff. And I remember one girl we were arguing with. She goes, "I'm not even Asian. I'm black." And we didn't believe her, and she showed us her alt because she had an account just dedicated to spamming K-pop, and she was one of those black weirdos. She was like one of those black suburb nerds, you know. Um, yeah. So I mean, the whole system is straight up gamed, and nobody cares. Nobody cares because everyone's getting paid off of it and hoping to game it for themselves later on. These reporters, these social justice influencers, these other artists, these bloggers, they want the clicks. They're gamers in and of themselves, and it's that whole mutual admiration society, mediocrity mafia thing that I was talking about, right? So then, sure enough, you get stuff like this, right? Billboard, respected industry standard, um, announces Doja Cat "Say So" featuring Nicki Minaj tops Billboard Hot 100, becoming the first number one for each. Even for Nicki Minaj, this is a first, right? Um, and it's crazy. It's crazy, right? So, you know, supposedly a music journalist, wrote this, but there's no talk about her gaming the fans and getting them to do this by showing her breasts and stuff. And you know what's crazy? And this is how I show that this stuff works, right? This is how you know this stuff works. Is Nicki Minaj has been in the game forever, right? But she was in it before influencing was really what it is now. She hooked up with Doja Cat, who's a much more savvy, modern, post-millennial influencer, and she gets her first number one. You know what I'm saying? Think about how crazy that is. So Doja Cat's in the game for like a fraction of the time, and is able to get Nicki Minaj. So Nicki Minaj had the superior star power, so that probably helped. But Doja Cat, as a better influencer, knew how to game the system. Like, I started first looking into this stuff when I found out Selena Gomez had more streams than Prince or something. Like something insane. Like more streams than Michael Jackson. Like more streams than Thriller. And I was like, how many people even know a Selena Gomez song? Everyone knows every single track off of Thriller. How the hell is Selena Gomez getting more streams than Michael Jackson? Like, and everyone was reporting this uncritically. And they were celebrating it, and they were saying, "Oh, it's it's a win for women, and all the all this stuff, um, and it's a new record, and it's a big story." And I was like, something is crazy about that. Like, I do not see how she's breaking these records, and that's when I found out and stuff. And so Selena Gomez is the most streamed artist on Spotify. And quick in the comments, how many of y'all can name Selena Gomez songs? Like name some Selena Gomez songs and name some Michael Jackson songs from Thriller. I just want to see without googling stuff. Just let me know, because I really want to. I mean, I like this kind of world because it opens a lane for me, because everyone's fucking lazy and doesn't care. So I get to talk about this stuff, because I can see through a lot of the stuff. But yeah, social media has really screwed up this new generation. But it's not just screwed up this new generation; it's screwed up whole industries. Nothing is real anymore. Everything is just like a giant catfishing. We live in a catfish society. I should retitle this catfish society. We're in a catfish society where corporations are catfishing us, record labels are catfishing us, um, apps are catfishing us, artists are catfishing us, fans are catfishing us. You know, um, yeah, that most people can't. Even Justin Bieber. How many people can? Justin Bieber is basically an influencer. He came off of YouTube. Most people know his song "Baby," and then that song that was really him just hopping on a pre-existing reggaeton song. And I think "Sorry." I think it's 3 songs that people know. But yeah, I mean, same here. Most people don't know her. Like, but yeah. So this thing, if you check it out. I'm gonna blow your mind with some more stuff. I'm gonna blow your mind with some more stuff. So if you're liking this, please hit like if you haven't. Comment, like, subscribe. It helps the algorithm. Just drop a comment too, just to say, hey, this shit is dope. It all helps because we're trying to get to 1,000 in followers, right? So this article by Billboard, brings up Doja Cat's leap from number 6 to number 1. And I'm sure a lot of it happened when she offered to show her boobs and it went viral. Megan Thee Stallion's Savage is coming up from number 4 to number 2, and so forth. And going back to Selena Gomez, right? Someone said Bieber has had a lot of hits. I don't really believe it. I'm sorry. I think he's had hits as in how Selena Gomez has hits, like they just streamed a lot. I don't think they're real hits, like people know what they are. Like, I agree to see people that had hits. They've all had hits. Selena Gomez is the most streamed person on Spotify. She's had a shit ton of hits. I'm not asking if they have hits. I'm asking if people know the songs. Like I said 3 songs that I think most people actually know. You're talking about if Bieber has hits. That's 2 different things. That's how they get you. It's a switcheroo. See, I said, how many Bieber songs do people really know? You said he's had a lot of hits. And you see how they get you? It's 2 different things. You think they're the same thing, but they're not. If you ask me if they've had hits, all these motherfuckers have had dozens of hits. Yeah, I mean, they're paper hits. They're imaginary hits. They're like castles in the sky, whatever, Same way this thing is a record, Yeah, but as many like actual real hits like that people know, I think they're very rare. Like, there's that song, that reggaeton song that Bieber had that was really him just hopping on someone else's song. That was a song that I noticed a lot of people knew. I heard in the radio everywhere. People were playing it at barbecues and cookouts and stuff. Abdi Aziz Abdullah said that he thinks we're not his demographics. Like, I think the people. Let's not put this part right. He's saying, ask any young woman, and they'll tell you. Now, here's a trick. Things that young people only like, they only go so far. That shit like New Kids on the Block and stuff like that, where it's kind of famous to a generation. But if you have somebody from that era who was in their 20s, 30s, 40s when New Kids on the Block was out, they won't really remember the stuff that well. Like, those people did numbers, but Michael Jackson numbers, that stuff, everybody, your grandmother, your mother, your kids, you, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, were singing those songs. Prince, Purple Rain, like when a song hits a certain level, it crosses generations. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, these numbers that these people are getting aren't teeny bopper numbers. They're numbers that like they're getting like iconic numbers. And yeah, I agree. Like, these people are getting like New Kids on the Block, Teenage New Edition, levels of fan penetration and awareness. I have no doubt there's a lot of kids that know these things. I'm just doubting that, and that's why I'm asking in this chat, because this chat covers all age groups. You know what I'm saying? I think that what's that Hispanic song? I can never remember the name. I keep calling it Suavemente, but it's not that. I just call whatever that reggae song. I think it's the only one that I think he has. Now someone says, I'm a programmer. I know there's for sure there are ways of artificially boosting numbers, and that's true. And we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that now, right? See, you're bringing up stuff that's not relevant. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not saying that everyone can be a legend like Michael Jackson. You're answering a claim I didn't make. Whether everyone can be a legend like Michael Jackson or not is irrelevant. That's my that's not irrelevant. It's the opposite. That's my point. If everyone can't be a legend like Michael Jackson, then how can everyone have Michael Jackson numbers? You're actually making my point. Like, you're arguing from some place where I don't know where it's coming from, but that's my point. Everyone can't be a legend like Michael Jackson. You're making my point. The fact that everyone can't be a legend like Michael Jackson is why you have to be skeptical about how can so many people have these numbers, you know? Because you're absolutely right. You know, it's about how can you have legend numbers but not legend level of awareness or whatever. Something is up. And when you just rush for the glib easy answer, like that's how these people get away with this stuff, you know? So the this is what I want to show, right? Hold on one second. This is how kind of known it is. Someone just talked about the hack, right? So peep this. Fans are convinced that Selena Gomez used this hack to replace Drake as the most streamed artist ever. So like people know this stuff. People talk about this stuff. It's like an open secret. Like even fans kind of don't believe this shit. Like, you know, even fans. Like part of the fun now is almost trying to figure out how it's done. Like figure out the secret recipe, right? So Selena Gomez reached 46 million streams in one day. She became the second female ever to top the top #1 monthly listener chart. But this is the funny thing, right? This happened a year ago in 2019. And here is the how you know this fuckery at play. The news definitely came as a shock to many, considering Selena hasn't released an album since 2015. So this happened 4 years after she even last released an album. She's had a couple of singles and stuff, but people are like, how and the singles didn't do that well in the charts. People were wondering how did she get all this stuff, you know? And people even talking about it on Twitter. Like there's this tweet here, no hate, but who actually listens to her music? Like, hey, play some Selena Gomez right now. What? Because people were being skeptical about the story. They're like, you know, and this was funny. This thing here is like a blog, you know? The actual news sites or industry sites like Billboard just publish this shit with no skepticism. It's just like blogs and people with time on their hands or haters. Like this is what's funny. The same way that there's stands doing the jobs of publicists now and stuff like that. Now you have haters doing the job of journalists and just amateur detectives, like, you know. So people are theorizing she has empty warehouses of computers streaming her music and stuff like that. As a result, fans did some digging and had some theories about her rise on Spotify. Some believe her label could be using automated bots to boost her numbers via phones hooked up to Spotify to stream her music 24/7. So on top of everything, the labels are pulling these types of fuckery too, right? Because what people don't realize, something else that is out there, they have these things called click farms. Click farms are a crazy thing. If you've never seen a click farm, this is what a click farm is. I'll show a click farm in a little bit. But a click farm is the craziest thing you have ever seen. I'm going to show you in a second, but keep that in mind, right? While it may be hard to believe, automated Spotify streams aren't a new concept. Have actually been monetized by many companies who sell streams to artists. It's a similar system used by companies offering bot Instagram likes or comments. Depending on the amount of money you are willing to shell out, you can gain up to 10,000 plays on a song per day. And if you go through the article discusses a lot of different bots and known hacks that people do, right? Now I'm going to show you something real quick. This right here is a click farm. This is 8,000 mobile phones in the Shandong province of China. They've shown them in places like Singapore and other places too. These are all a bunch of phones open, assigned to click the same thing over and over again. And they use click farms for all types of stuff, right? And there's companies that will, sell click farms to people. Yeah, so yeah, there's all types of stuff. So between the companies buying click farms, between enthusiastic fans pushing stuff, if you go online and you just go on Twitter and you just search stuff, you'll find a whole bunch of stuff. And someone said payola 2000. Yo, I'll tell you what, man, I think real payola used to be fucking better. Like you just paid a DJ. Like I feel like that shit was in a way almost more honest, yeah, it's worse than payola to be honest, Billboard is invested in making the numbers they put out be an indicator of genius. That's true. That's a great point, because Billboard, the magazine, they're the ones who it's their charts. So they need to promote their charts. And if there's new records going out, that promotes their charts. I forgot Billboard. It's Billboard's charts, Billboard 100. It's their actual chart, right? So peep this. It gets even better. This guy Roddy Ricch, God bless him. A lot of people don't like the song "The Box," right? But "The Box" is a true old school hit, the old way. Like as far as I know, Roddy Ricch isn't an influencer. He's not on internet spamming and tweeting all day, and he doesn't have like 50 hustles and have a TikTok. Like he's not Lil Nas X. He was one of the rare, as far as I know. If anybody knows different, let me know, because you never know these days. I might end up being wrong. I'm reserving the right to be wrong. But Roddy Ricch did "The Box." It's a weird little song. The beat is very unique, and I think it's one of those things, and it's a catchy little song. It's polarizing too. Some people hate it, but the beat is very weird, and it's a very off-kilter beat, and it really clicked with a lot of people. And this is very true too. All the parties benefit from the feedback loop. Yep, because everyone's trying to get clicks, themselves, and it's a good song too. Like it's a clever song. I like his cadence. It's really good. And someone said Roddy Ricch don't talk to anybody. It's true. Like I don't really see him on ubiquitous like that. Like Roddy Ricch is old school. Someone's an influencer when you find out their name before you ever figure out what they do or hear their music. or even find out that they are a musician. Like, you just see the name everywhere and people tweeting about them. Like, it took me forever to find out that Doja Cat was a serious rapper. I just thought she was like a Snapchat girl or something, and stuff like that. Yeah, but Roddy Ricch, I heard the song "The Box" first, and then I had to find out who he was. But he ended up dominating the charts, and a lot of these artists, they pick dates and times, like they'll straight up trade off, like they'll arrange with each other, like, yo, I'm dropping my thing this week because I want to hit the number one and get the headline. You drop it next week. So like there was this beef that happened recently. I forgot what happened, and it was one artist got mad at another because they released their song the same week, and he did it on purpose to hate on them, and took the number one slot. And the idea was, I think it was Beyonce and Jay-Z did a surprise album. So it took the number one slot, I think, a week that Kanye was going to drop something, and people took it as an open shot. Like, this idea that's not supposed to be open competition anymore, that you're supposed to just all take turns gaming the system and whatever. So Roddy Ricch's thing organically hit number one at a time when Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez were both planning to take the number one slot, right? Yeah, so they were supposed to take the number one slot, and it didn't happen. So this is what they started doing, and the desperation was great because this was Bieber's like big comeback, and he hadn't dropped music in a while. He needed to drop number one. He had a song called Juicy. He needed to drop number one. Like, they need the headline because everything's about headline, images, clout, spectacle. So Bieber drops a song, hits number two, is not a headline, So when the box drew a monkey wrench into all these people's plans, this is what ended up happening. I'm gonna put it here, and this is the most shameful thing I've seen in a while. Fans are roasting Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez for begging for a number one song. And fam, this stuff is hilarious. If you have not heard this yet. They both took years off from the spotlight, and they both came back. The stars are both trying to hit number one in the Billboard charts, but one thing stands in the way: rising hip-hop star Roddy Ricch. As of writing, Ricch has number one song on Billboard 100. There goes, like Sly said, Billboard 100, the same people who run the industry magazine and reporting this stuff uncritically, and the number one album on the Billboard 200, So as he continues to dominate the charts, Bieber and Gomez have called on fans to stream their tunes so that they can take over the number one spot. But some people aren't feeling it. On Twitter, fans are even roasting the artists, calling them desperate and more. Because even among these new fans, like we said, remember, we said anti-craft and anti-effort. The reason they're mad about this, these new era of fans, it's not because of principle. They're mad at it because this is effort. This is being try hard. So you're not supposed to look like you're trying. So on one hand, it might give you hope to see, maybe these new fans aren't as bad as you thought, or maybe these new fans aren't as poisoned by social media as you think. But no, what it actually is they're just really upset that these people are actually trying as tacky as gauche in the internet world. So I say juicy. It's actually called yummy. Justin Bieber released a song called Yummy, which is first music release since 2015 album. As reports emerged that Rich's song "The Box" was slated to become the number one song in the country, the Baby singer, they still call him the Baby singer. This is what I'm talking about. These people don't really have hits. He's still known by Baby. That's back when he had the Ellen DeGeneres bowl cut. He's still known by that. That's what I mean about these people's hits aren't really sticking with people. He posted in a series of since deleted instructions on how to push his song to number one. So this is what the instructions were, and I'm gonna show you the instructions now. I'm gonna show you the instructions now because it's crazy. You got to see these instructions. And this is a great comment here before we talk about the instructions. Peep, peep this comment. This is so true. This is why I say there's so much similarity between the music industry and boxing. There are so many boxers more known for their personality outside the ring than their performance in it. But I'll tell you another way it's like boxing. Boxing, a lot of people game their rankings. There's 5 belts. People dodge each other to avoid, fighting. So you have people who are like the number one uncontested boxer, but they've dodged everybody in their division, or people switching weight classes just to dodge people. So the rankings end up being nothing. There's too many belts. The rankings are all gamed. That's another way it's like boxing. Um, but yeah, peep this. Justin Bieber tells fans, and this is the thing, you're not supposed to tell the fans. If anything, get like an alt or get like one of those bot companies and make a bunch of bot accounts to say this stuff. But he got desperate enough to actually say it himself, right? He told fans to use VPNs to cheat new single Yummy to number one because the career is depending on it. Like, these people floss and you think they're doing really well, but apparently, I guess he really needs this. It's been 5 years, and you get forgotten at any point. They're still calling him the baby singer. So he has nothing with longevity. He's only as good as his last single. He has no real goodwill with his fans, right? In a since deleted post, Justin Bieber laid out detailed instructions for fans to boast his new single Yummy to the top of the Billboard Hot 100. Among other tactics, the post directed international believers to download VPNs, which would allow them to cheat Billboard's American charts. Now I'm thinking Billboard, the same way Major League Baseball threatens to ban people, from the record books or the Hall of Fame if you're caught cheating somehow. Why is Billboard not banning people for doing stuff like this to get onto their charts? But instead of reporting on it, and cheerleading and on. But he did a slideshow on Instagram on his official Instagram page, and the first slide said how to get Yummy to number one, and it he had like a slideshow, and the slideshow had a bunch of instructions, and it said create a playlist with Yummy on repeat and stream it. Don't mute it. Play it at a low volume. Let it play while you sleep. If you are not from the US, you can download a VPN app, set the VPN to US, and then create a Spotify account, which is the same thing. The same thing that other person said. And I'm going to show y'all something. Peep this. This is what it actually looked like. And you see his actual account, and it said Spotify, create a playlist with Yummy on it and stream it. Don't mute it. Play at a loud volume while you stream. And he made it look really cool and like nice. Somebody graphic designed it or something, I thought that was pretty funny. And he had to end up deleting it and stuff. And but then check this out. And somebody said this: Billboard was becoming no longer relevant. Streaming BS made it relevant again. And there you go. So yeah, Justin Bieber had to end up he miscalculated. He had to end up deleting it, but at the same time, this is what Selena Gomez did. There's a story, and again, these stories always end up on like little blogs and stuff. They do a better job than the real sites. Blast, you want it, we got it. That's the name of the site. It's a kind of blog. Selena Gomez feels inauthentic after asking fans to stream Rare to reach number one. And remember, I said like the biggest fear the mediocre mafia has is inauthenticity and mediocrity, like being exposed as either, like. But the funny thing is, these fans all know that these things happen because you see all the stands posting these instructions anyway. But to see the artists do it is what's tacky and try hard and ruins the illusion and what they don't want to see. So Selena Gomez is back after a multi-year hiatus with her new album Rare, which reached number one on the Billboard 200 chart. But then she posted videos of herself and her friends driving around buying as many copies of the album that they could find and begging her fans to do the same to ensure Rare went to number one on the chart. Yeah, so she ended up taking it off Instagram, and she posted, "It's officially out." Later on, she posted this: "It's officially out. I was a bit embarrassed asking so often for you to stream or buy my albums. It felt inauthentic. Thank you so much for making something so personal." Well, whatever. Yeah. She so this is what she said. I'll find the actual literal quote. Because it's worth seeing. Yeah, but the whole thing is a joke. The whole thing is a joke. So she posted this on Instagram. "I just found out that my album is neck to neck with another incredible artist," Selena said. "I told people that, it's not about numbers for me. Yeah, right. But I would love for the most important album I've ever released to become number one. So if you don't mind streaming it or listening to it on all the platforms, it would mean absolutely the world to me." And this is what was great. Roddy Rich trolled them by being extra nice. They had to both end up kind of deleting or backtracking this stuff, and I don't think it worked anyway, right? But Roddy Rich trolled him by he tweeted "Stream Rare" by Selena Gomez, and then earlier he tweeted "Please stream Yummy" by Justin Bieber. So he started adding to it, like Roddy Rich clowned him because he started telling people, "Hey, these guys need help," like they were pity cases. So then that added to the clowning. Like they ended up getting trolled, which I thought was a very clever by Roddy to do that. It was a actually. I want to show something else. Actually, peep this. Peep this.
Just found out that. So I just found out that my album is neck to neck with another incredible artist. I told people before that, it's not about numbers for me, but I would love for the most important album I've ever released to become number one. So if you don't mind streaming it or listening to it on all the platforms, it would mean the absolute world to me. This is, again, something I dreamed about for so long. But regardless, I just hope that you guys are enjoying it and that.
Okay, that's enough of that. The reason why I just did that, why I actually showed it, even though I already read it, there's a reason why I did that. It's really interesting. I love this. It's like a Karen in the making. Yeah, you know what? White women have different age ranges, so she's still in the Becky phase. When she hits, I think 35. When you go past 35, that's when you become a Karen. Then when you go past, I think 60, you're a Susan. But yeah, so she's a Karen in the making. All right. But that's that parasocial shit, right? She did it in a black and white thing in the bed, black and white, very lo-fi. Like it looks like, that girl you have a crush on. The two of you are FaceTiming late at night, from each other's beds and stuff. And it's fostering that kind of parasocial thing that stands are suckers for. It's very, very intimate. It almost feels like when you watch it, it's just for you. Like she's just sending this thing, just to you. It's very because even when I saw it, I was like, is that Selena Gomez? Like, did he just put some random fans video in the article? And yeah, it's but all these faces that are covering this stuff are always small little blogs. If you notice, it's always like these little things that do this, and yeah, she was posting videos of herself straight up buying all the albums that she could, and like when any places ever covering this stuff, and this is what's so interesting to me, it's always shit that I've never heard of, man. Like, and they do good work. They do good work. Like, look at this thing, Daily Targum. I've never heard of this Daily Targum thing. If y'all know what it is, let me know. But they did a story. They said artists begging for streams takes away from quality music, and they, did much better work than any blue check music critic or anything I do, because most of the blue check music writers and critics are trying to meet these artists and get on the good side. And somebody called our media today the access media, like that mid-range B-level blog blue check influencer media that we have. They call it the access media because there's a bunch of people trying to get access to the stars and bragging rights. Like we have a groupie media, but this whole article talks about all the stuff that people do, and it also talks about the ethical considerations of it in a way that I never see these supposedly serious people who write for like BuzzFeed or Billboard or Rolling Stone really question anymore or spin or anything. Those things end up being just glorified press releases now, or things that just collect tweets to and turn tweets into stories, trying to get clicks, but I was wrong. Bieber's thing failed, but Selena's thing actually worked. She did actually end up beating Roddy Rich's album by approximately 2,000 album equivalent units. But the article says this: especially in this age of Stan Twitter and Instagram, streaming to earn chart positions is a part of the pride and joy of fans. It is one of the ways fans express their gratitude and love for the artist. So they're happy to help you cheat. What's funny is at the same time, they find some stands who are probably other people's stands, but your haters find it tacky if you look like you're trying too hard. You have to not be try hard about it. Though it's too much effort. Yeah, a quick look through a typical Stan account after a new release will yield at least 5 different streaming guides with pre-made playlists and messages like "keep streaming, let's get this to #1," or "they work so hard, we can't let them down." So yeah, this is just the new normal, man. This is it, man. So basically, what I was trying to say is, someone called the mercenary media, and that's true too, man. And this is true too. Roddy's had like 3 hits since. She hasn't and won't. And it's true. Like, how many people know a song from that Rare album? Like, I know and heard multiple Roddy Ricch songs. Like, most people don't even know those albums. And this is like what the other guy was saying about people in their age range know their songs. And I'm like, yeah, I don't doubt they do. But those people in the age range are streaming it like 5-6 times and becoming force multipliers. And that's my point. Stands and haters run the culture now. Twitter has amplified the smarter voices, and they influence the other 85%, like high school, where you want to keep up with the cool kids. And yo, that's true. But it's not even like that. I'll tell you what it is, man. There's the mean girl or the real cool kid. That's the artist. Then there's the people who are the satellites, like in the movie Heathers or Mean Girls. Like, you know, those three people who get to be right below the queen bee. That's the spot that they're going for. They think if they become number one stan, they're gonna be that person, and then they get to be in their minds some kind of buffer. They get both to be the friend of the artist, or they get to be the buffer between the lesser stands and the artist. It's all crazy stuff. But you know what you got to do, man. Not gonna promote myself. Go to patreon.com, Champagne Sharks. Sign up for 5 subscriptions. Sign up for 10. Sign up for 20 of them. Tell your friends. Get your family. You know, do it in Bitcoin. Do whatever you have to do. But no, seriously, if you like the content that we do and everything, go to patreon.com/Champagne Sharks. I need stands. I need that level of stands. I need a stand club of people who just tweet all day and just say, listen to Champagne Sharks on SoundCloud all day long. Listen to Champagne Sharks on Spotify. Bum Rush's Patreon. That's what we need. Isaac K said, I remember when Charlemagne the God was talking about a white media producer. You want to know something really interesting? This is a great story. A lot of people don't know this, and I never just read a story and take it at face value. I never took a story and take it at face value. A lot of people don't know this. I think that Taylor Swift, Kanye West thing, I think it was fake. And you see what you said here? A lot of people didn't actually know. People forget. It's easy to forget. Taylor Swift wasn't that well known at that time. And this quote is really good. I remember when Charlemagne the God was talking about a white media producer being surprised he didn't know who Taylor Swift was. A lot of people didn't know. That thing made her a lot more famous than people realize, right? Now, but a lot of people don't realize Taylor Swift and Kanye West, they have the same, it's either agent or publicist, right? And you can look this up. So they have the same agent, right? I want to find out the name. I keep finding out that they had the same agent, but I can't. So they had the same agent, and unfortunately, I cannot remember this agent's name. If anybody knows the agent's name, you can let me know. But they had the same agent. They're both going to be there that night. And then Kanye was taking pictures all night, right? And you're going to see this. I'm going to show it to you. If you look it up, Kanye was conspicuously taking pictures like this. Are y'all able to see in the right? Kanye's holding a bottle in his hand. He was openly drinking from a bottle all night long. Oh yeah, someone said Scooter Braun. Yes, that's the name. Scooter Braun and Kanye West are both yeah, there it goes. Scooter Braun is that agent. They both share that agent. So this is kind of small, so I don't know if you can see it, but Kanye West is walking around holding a bottle conspicuously. This is another picture. You see him on the red carpet, and if you think about it, right? How often do you see a rapper, even a rapper, even a hardcore rapper, whatever, walking around with a bottle on the red carpet or sitting with a bottle in the audience to something like an event? Like, isn't that weird? Like, are you able to go to VMO and just hold a bottle and stuff? Here's another picture of him with the bottle. He was sure to be seen everywhere holding that bottle and drinking that bottle. This is another picture with him. And they were doing that to plant the narrative that he was going to be drunk. Right? Now, here's a picture of him. The problem is these might be looking small. Are you guys able to see this one? He was drinking on camera. He cocks his head back. So the whole night he's getting as many pictures as he can, getting pictured with this bottle. And then another one with the bottle. He took every single picture he could with this bottle. And no chaser or anything. And then next thing you know, you get this infamous moment later. You cannot tell me that thing was not fake as hell. I mean, maybe I'm crazy. Y'all tell me. I'm a conspiratorial. I don't know. Like, and that made her. She got huge after that. And I think Scooter Braun got Kanye to do it. He told Kanye, this will get you some notoriety. This will get you some notoriety, and this will make you white famous, for the country stars and stuff, and you'll become more famous. And Taylor Swift, no one really knows this for the country people, just gonna give her like some credibility and stuff like that. This is a great way to put it. Kanye Kaufman, like Andy Kaufman. And I think, like, somebody told me, it was on an episode of Champagne Trust. It was Mario. Mario said that Paris Hilton is the father or mother of all these influencers. And I said, yeah, sure. But I thought about it later, and I was like, no, she's not. It's Andy Kaufman. Like, Andy Kaufman is really the father of all this stuff. Like, this thing where you don't know what's real or what's fake anymore. You know what I'm saying? Andy Kaufman is the father of all this stuff. And I like Andy Kaufman and stuff, but this whole thing when no one knows what's real anymore and what isn't, I think he played a big role with that. And he also made audiences savvy. Like, now audiences, part of the fun is figuring out what hack did the person do, what bot, what yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think another reason too, I think this apart with Kanye and Taylor Swift, they kind of have a mutually assured destruction thing going on. And that's where their beef is kind of weird. I think that the beef eventually might have ended up becoming real. Maybe Kanye felt like he got too much backlash from the stunt. Maybe he thought it was less more bad than good in the long run for him or whatever. But I feel like a lot of the beef has that mutual assured destruction aspect to it where they can't ever really tell what they're fully mad about or give the full story. So we get like we see the beef through a filter of a lie because they can't admit the stage part of it, and that it was all just like a giant influencer stuff. Like this influencer stuff didn't just start with Twitter. Like, I think Twitter and social media pushed it to another level, but there was a proto version of this that was happening for as long as we can remember, and social media just like amplified it. But I think the seeds were like planted from the early days of the internet and media. And a great book to learn about this is pre-internet, but the dynamics are the same. All you have to do is amplify it. Is look at look at The Image by Daniel Borstein. He talks about it a lot. And someone said this, right? President Obama is the influencer president. He's a huge clout chaser. He might not necessarily have known who Taylor Swift was, but when the story went viral, Obama could have found out who she was like a week before he spoke about it. Like, don't be fooled. That guy is a perfect example. He's a huge clout chaser himself. He's the first influencer president. That's why I laugh when people say Donald Trump is the first celebrity president. Like, Obama made it possible for Donald Trump. He trivialized it enough. He really helped as far as trivializing. I mean, he's not as much of a clown as Trump is, but whatever. This is the last thing I want to end it on. I always talk about the book, The Image by Daniel Borstein and Harry Frankfurt on bullshit. So I was going to end it with a clip from Harry Frankfurt real quick. I don't know who this person is, but I'm going to look them up. Joseph. I'm always interested in learning about stuff like that. But yeah, I'm guessing he was like a stunt artist too. Oh, Andy Warhol too. Andy Warhol is the other father of this stuff, of Andy Warhol and Basquiat being famous at all costs. Andy Warhol is a great example of creating an image of anti-effort, like with the 4 cans that are just photocopies and 4 different colors, or the Velvet Underground, which you only pay 3. The Velvet Underground will only play 3 chords, and you know, like Andy Warhol was big into I'm the brand, not really the stuff, and fame is the canvas, fame is the art. Like so Andy Warhol and Andy Kaufman, I think those 2 Andys are really like the pre-internet fathers of all this, like the proto influencers and doing the stunt. So peep this real quick. This is pretty cool. For people who are interested in knowing more about Harry Frankfurt. This is about 5 minutes, and then we'll wrap up.
People should care about the truth because the truth is the truth about how things are. And it's important for us to recognize how things are, not to pretend that it's something else. If you have the truth, you know what reality is like. If you don't, you're ignorant of reality. There's a lot of activity in which the truth is not particularly respected, in which its importance is actively denied. We are living in an age in which there's another alternative to the truth, and that's bullshit. The reason why there's so much bullshit, I think, is that people just talk. If they don't talk, they don't get paid. The advertiser wants to gain sales. The politician wants to gain votes. Now, that's okay, but they have to talk about things that they don't really know much about. So since they don't have anything really valid to say, they just say whatever they think will interest the audience or make it appear that they know what they're talking about. And what comes out is bullshit. The bullshitter is more creative. He's not submissive.
Greetings, my friend.
It's not important to him what the world really is like. What's important to him is how he would like to represent himself. He takes a more adventurous and inventive attitude towards reality, which may be sometimes very colorful and sometimes amusing. Sometimes it might produce results that are enjoyable, but it's also very dangerous.
This country is in big trouble. We don't win anymore.
Lying is an attempt to conceal the truth by substituting something for the truth that isn't true. Bullshit is not a matter of trying to conceal the truth. It's a matter of trying to manipulate the listener. And if the truth will do, then that's fine. And if the truth won't do, then that's also fine. So the bullshitter is indifferent to the truth in a way in which the liar is not. He's playing a different game. Another reason why I think bullshit is a more insidious opponent or threat to the truth is that it's less identifiable. I mean, the lie makes a specific move, and it can be uncovered or revealed. Bullshit is vague. It doesn't. You can't put your finger on it. What's wrong with it? What is going on? Why is it objectionable? Politicians lie and bullshit constantly. When they're caught in a lie, there's a great commotion. There's no corresponding response to bullshit. There's no finding it out. There's no uncovering it. Insofar as bullshit is accepted, insofar as it's regarded as normal, I think it tends to undermine the respect for truth. It has become the norm to a considerable extent in my country, at any rate. Something like 99.8% of the qualified scientists in the world tell us that we're having a serious effect on the climate. That's an established scientific fact. I don't think there can be any question about it.
Because climate change is not science, it's religion.
But a lot of politicians deny it. They just say it's not true. It's lies. It's an attempt on the part of tree huggers to prevent economic development. It's just bullshit. It comes close to being a lie. But I think a lot of politicians don't know enough about the science to know that it is a lie. They just assume that it must be a lie because it doesn't fit into their political or economic agenda. The assertion that something has been established scientifically no longer carries the same weight that it used to carry. So that's the danger, that there will be a loss of concern for the truth. And that, I think, is an insidious assault on one of the fundamental principles of society. If you have the truth, you know what reality is like. If you don't, you're ignorant of reality. And I don't know whether it's important to explain why reality is important. We live in the real world. We depend upon it. We need it. We need to know about it. We need to be able to find our way around in it. And if we don't have the truth, then we can't do those things. We don't really need bullshit. In fact, bullshit I find very offensive. It's insulting. It is offered to me as though it were an attempt to convey the truth, but it's not. It's a substitute for the truth. And I don't want substitutes. I want the real thing, as I think all of us should. All of us must. That's why we should be on our guard against it and resist it, reject it, wherever we find it. I think a world without bullshit would be more interesting. It would be a world in which we would lack the creative flair of the bullshitter, but in which we would have the fascination and the wonderment of reality. And in that way, I think the world would be much better off.
I put the link to that video in the chat for anybody who wants to share it with anybody. But yeah, I mean, like I think it's just kind of plausible and true sounding. So now we have 3 or 4 women who got #1 hits, and technically it's not a lie. What's the lie? You look on Billboard, they're #1. It's a lie without really telling a lie, you know. And that's what bullshit is. Like it feels wrong. Like you think, hey, 4 women broke a record in a row in like a month. That it took like 30 years for the first 5 women to make. If it feels wrong, that's the first time I think it's bullshit. Like when it feels wrong, but technically, like, you know, it's true in the history books. That's what I was gonna say. That these were the #1s, you know. So yeah, I hope I gave you a lot to think about, you know. And if y'all like this, and you want me to do more stuff like this, you know, because I've been trying to think how to not to make this redundant of the podcast. I want to do something a little different, you know, and not just have it be the same thing. So I thought just like these type of things, and plus I've been trying to be on Twitter less and stuff. So I started thinking stuff that I'm making to like a long Twitter thread. Instead of making the thread, why not just go on here and just talk about it instead? Plus, you can go more in depth into it too. And plus, like Twitter's just full of fucking trolls anyway. So I'd rather be here. Yeah, but yeah, if you like this, if you like the other stuff, comment, like, subscribe, share it. It helps the algorithm do well. Share it with your friends, get them to follow, because we're trying to get to 1,000 followers. You know what I'm saying? We get to 1,000 followers. I think we can unlock some stuff on YouTube, from what I understand, some features, and we can get some other stuff going on. And also go to patreon.com, Champagne Sharks. Do that and subscribe, listen to the podcast, become part of the family. We get a Discord voice and chat server, and you get to also become you get previews of who our guests are going to be, and all types of stuff. Also, I'm going to start letting people who become patrons and become part of the Discord server suggest topics for these live streams as well, you know. And we're going to start taking calls on these live streams, and we're going to give the number, you know, so we don't get flooded, and also so we don't get trolls, because I feel like a lot of the people that we talk about are popular and stuff like that. I don't want like Nicki Minaj trolls and the people like that. If anyone's been online social media and has dealt with a Nicki Minaj troll, you'll know what I'm talking about. So when we start taking calls on the show, like me, Mario, Kenny, and whoever else is the guest, only people who are patrons will have access, hopefully, to the number. I mean, if the patrons share it with the troll, then what can I do, you know? Yeah. So thanks, y'all. Take care. Become a patron. $5 a month. You get double the new episodes and all the back patron only episodes as well. Yeah. So love y'all. Appreciate y'all spending 2 hours of your life with me when you don't have to, you know, and be good, everybody. Take care.